Are you looking for an athletic scholarship? You're in the right place. This is the Recruit Me Athletic Scholarship Podcast, the longest-running podcast on recruiting and athletic scholarships. We're here to help your family navigate the recruiting road all the way to an athletic scholarship. He's a recruiting expert and a dad of 2 college athletes. He has a wealth of experience to share. Here's Recruit Me CEO, Brent Hanks.
Welcome to episode 487 of the Athletic Scholarship Podcast. To start December's episodes here in 2025, I'm going back into the Athletic Scholarship Podcast archives to give you information about unofficial visits. Back in episode 271, I covered Sutton's, my youngest son's, experience of 3 unofficial visits as he narrowed his college and college baseball choices. He was in the summer between his high school junior and senior year. Sutton really hadn't decided to try to play baseball in college until after his junior year high school season, and then the start of his summer ball. His summer season took off, and he realized he had the talent and wanted to play in college. His observation of his older brother's college baseball experience, his ability to play with and outplay future college commits, and his maturity into a well-balanced player in the field and at the plate, plus his exceptional speed in the outfield and on the base paths, gave him optimism of his future in college. One big advantage for Sutton was that we, as a family, prepared throughout his freshman, sophomore, and junior years to be ready if and when Sutton decided to play in college. Even if he had decided just to go to college with no sports, he had a list of colleges that he had researched to be a possible college choice. Let's get into the replay of episode 271 of the Athletic Scholarship Podcast, a peek into Sutton's unofficial visits. This week's episode 271, is a peek into Sutton's unofficial visits. Sutton, my youngest son, is a senior in high school and is working on finding a college that fits his academic and athletic wants and needs. He, along with his mom and I, have researched online, researched by driving through college campuses, and he has researched by asking his high school coaches and his club coaches and friends and other parents and players questions and advice. Also, as a family, we have followed the Recruit Me 3.0 athletic scholarship system. We started to research colleges during his sophomore year, the COVID year, and we as a family developed introductory emails, his parameter list of what he's looking for in a college, and making sure his academics were on target. I took video of him pitching, batting, and running the bases. He's really fast, so we could send 2-minute videos to coaches. We even developed a basketball 2-minute video of all his block shots and charges taking in basketball to show his athletic ability. We continued to adjust Sutton's school list and do research as his baseball seasons, his junior year in high school, and his junior summer ball progressed. We updated videos of hitting, pitching, fielding, and base running. Updated videos of hitting, pitching, fielding, and base running were taken and produced to send to past coaches that he had contacted and new coaches on his updated school list. After Sutton's junior year, and as he gets ready for his senior year of high school, he started to attend some baseball showcases. We went to 2 showcases that had 8 to 10 college coaches in attendance, and a showcase that was just at a specific college. A few extra nuggets of advice from the showcases are trying to find out what colleges will be at the showcase, and send an email or a text or an IM to all those coaches, or just the ones that you are interested in. Contact them with a short note like, "My name is Sutton Hanks, class of 2022 outfielder. I'm looking forward to meeting you this weekend at the Classic Showcase at ABC College." Sign off with your name and contact information. The other nugget is to contact a coach to see if they are still recruiting for the position in your recruiting class. Sutton asked that question to a coach at the first of the summer, and the coach responded and said that they were waiting on a few current players to make a decision on whether they were coming back. Sutton, later in the summer, emailed the same coach about a showcase that was listed on the team's website. Before Sutton signed up and we spent the money and time going to the showcase, he asked the question again, and the coach said they were looking for an outfielder for the class of 2022. This showcase or ID camp then led to this episode's subject, and that is Sutton's unofficial visit. So here we are at the beginning of Sutton's senior year. It's go time on making a decision on a college. I won't tell you guys the names of the colleges that Sutton is looking at now, but I'll just refer to them as College A, College B, and College C. He has taken 3 unofficial visits so far. Listen to episodes 225 and 226 for more information on official and unofficial visits. Sutton and I got to see the campus of College A at his showcase. Lori, or Mom, couldn't go because she was recovering from a neck surgery. So we scheduled another visit when she could travel. Here's the breakdown of the email that the coach from College A sent us to give us a schedule for that day. The email was sent to Sutton, not to us, the parents. The email said that they were excited to have Sutton on campus. It gave Sutton the coach's information that would be his contact, which is usually an assistant coach or the recruiting coordinator. Sutton got the location for us to park and the time to meet with the assistant coach. This college is 3 hours and 45 minutes from our home, so we planned on leaving early enough in case of traffic and to drive around the college's town before meeting at 10:45 a.m. Sutton texted the coach when we arrived at the parking location, and he said to go to the lobby of the admissions building right next to the parking lot. When we went in, the college had TVs in the hallway by the admissions office, and it had a message on the TV that welcomed Sutton Hanks, Ozark, Missouri. He met with the coach, and the ladies in the admissions office introduced themselves. They gave Sutton some campus information and a t-shirt. We had a campus tour scheduled for 11 a.m. with a current student and ambassador with the admissions office. The coach said he would see us at lunch about noonish, and to text him when we were done with the tour. College A is not a big college, 2,100 students, so the campus was handy to walk. The ambassador tour guide told us about each of the buildings we went into. The admissions building held a few classes. The business building, where Sutton would spend most of his time, had a good coffee shop on the second floor, and the STEM building was newly renovated. The Student Rec Center had 2 basketball courts and a turf area that sometimes the baseball team used in bad weather. Students could lift weights and take their fitness classes and play intramurals. There were also good study rooms in that building, the ambassador said. The campus had a nice park-like open area where the old baseball field used to be. There was also a very nice new soccer and lacrosse field right on campus. We walked by the dorms. There would be a dorm tour after lunch, and by the main cafeteria, and then into the student union, where students could get food, coffee, books, supplies, and school clothes. We passed through the building that had the performance auditorium and the main basketball, volleyball, and wrestling court. We also walked by and through some more buildings and the library, and the tour was done. The student ambassador told us a lot of good things about the campus, and she gave Sutton some little hints about college life there. We met the assistant coach for lunch and got a feel and the flow for the food there. We got to ask questions about the campus and about baseball. Mom was very interested in academics and how Sutton would be monitored or supported in his academics. We asked about roster size, who travels, how many travel, how they travel, when they work out and have practices, what the coaches expect Sutton to do next summer, and I'm sure a few more questions that I don't remember. We finished lunch as the cafeteria emptied, and we met with a different student ambassador to look at a couple of dorm choices. He took us to 2 different dorms, explained the housing situation, the bathroom situation, and the characteristics of each dorm. We then went back to the admissions office and met briefly with the admissions counselor and talked about how to apply, about education majors, about academic scholarship possibilities, and how scheduling works. Sutton texted the assistant coach, and we drove over to the north side of campus, where we met with him at the athletic offices and the athletic weight room. We saw the training room, walked past the very nice football field and track, and then to the baseball and softball complex. The baseball team was playing a fall game and had already started. The head coach was waiting in the press box/office, and we met with him for about 15 minutes or so. Lori hadn't met the head coach, so she met him and got to ask him some questions. The head coach had a couple talking points for us, too. Sutton and I had met with him after the earlier showcase, and he had offered Sutton an athletic/baseball scholarship and a spot on the team. So we told the coach thank you for the day and we would get back to him soon. After that, we went out into the stands to watch a couple innings of the game. Sutton got to see 3 players he played with over the summer. They were playing for the other team. Then we got in the car for the drive home and had plenty to talk about on the way home. On the way home, we stopped at a nice shopping area and restaurant area, about 30 minutes from the campus, and on a route that Sutton would take home if he went there. That's a nice little perk. The next unofficial visit was on a Saturday, so we didn't get a full campus tour. But we met with the coach and got to see the athletic center and the gym, the coach's offices, and the weight room. And they also had an indoor batting cage. Sutton had played at their field 2 years ago, so we knew what the baseball field was like. We sat with the head coach and talked in his office, and he told Sutton about the program, about his background, about the roster size, and how Sutton fits in. and about the tuition and scholarship possibilities, and the school's academic program. Again, the head coach had texted Sutton a schedule, basically what time and where to meet. Hopefully we will schedule to do a campus tour if Sutton stays interested in College B. College C was similar in setup to the other unofficial visit plans. Lori didn't go to this one. She had some neck soreness. So Sutton and I drove 2.5 hours to meet with the head coach at the off-campus field, which was about 5 miles from campus. The head coach showed us the field and the cages, and we talked for a little bit there at the field. The field was very nice and well maintained. We got in our cars and followed the head coach to campus and parked close to his office. We met with the head coach and the assistant coach at the athletic center, where the weight room, the training room, and the gyms are located. We walked over to the admissions office to connect with the school ambassador. This tour guide was a recent graduate that works in the admissions office there. We would meet back with the coaches after the tour. This college has about 1,200 students. We saw all the different buildings that house the STEM classes, the general classes, the arts, and the newest building that has Sutton's major of finance and business. We saw the 2 main dorms and a nice new soccer lacrosse field. We met back with the coaches, and they had arranged for 2 current baseball players to eat lunch with us. Just the players, no coaches. I thought that was a nice touch so Sutton could talk to players about conditioning part of practice, what travel was like, what dorm life was like, what downtown life was like, and what kind of swag the players get. We met back with admissions and talked about how to apply for this school, the tuition and scholarship possibilities, and general campus life. We did a lot of talking to the head coach at the field earlier, so we briefly met with him before we jumped in our car and headed back. Sutton and I had driven around the campus about 3 weeks earlier, so we had also driven around the town too. That was a look into 3 unofficial visits. All 3 visits were done very professionally, but not stuffy. Sutton liked all 3 coaches, and each campus and each baseball facility had pluses and minuses. So, Sutton and our family are in the stage of recruitment where all the research, all the emails, all the coaches' recommendations, and all of Sutton's hard work are coming to a culmination to a decision. By the way, we do appreciate all his high school coaches and summer coaches for their contribution to Sutton's success. These 3 visits and all the contacts with coaches are from research on the colleges or by us knowing the coach from Parker's recruitment or from recommendations from his Marucci summer coaches. A side note, we met with his summer coaches and had a list of schools, and they helped us to target some of the schools on our list to Sutton's level of play, to coaches that might fit Sutton's personality and play, and they steered us away from programs that might not fit. Ultimately, the choice is ours, but your coaches know things about programs and about your sport that you may never know just by doing research. Please let me know if there's anything that you have questions about on unofficial visits. And I almost forgot to mention that all of Sutton's unofficial visits were generated by him contacting coaches and asking them for an opportunity to go to a showcase or go to an on-campus tour. Please don't depend on a coach just seeing you in a game or hearing about you. Take charge, do the work, and find a place that fits you both academically and athletically. The Athletic Scholarship Podcast is one of the resources at recruit-me.com. The cornerstone of RecruitMe is the RecruitMe 3.0 Athletic Scholarship System. You get a 200-plus page step-by-step manual, workbook, and worksheets that walk you and your family through the 7 steps to an athletic scholarship and the 10 myths about athletic scholarships, plus much, much more. Go to the recruit-me.com website and get access to the RecruitMe 3.0 system for only $39. Here is a special holiday deal. Email me that you listen to the Athletic Scholarship Podcast, and I'll send you the 3 recruiting worksheets, the Parameters Worksheet, the College School List Worksheet, and the College Research Worksheet. This free offer will get you started on your recruiting journey. My email is listed in the show notes and is Brent, Brent, at recruit-me.com. Please like and subscribe to the Athletic Scholarship Podcast on your favorite podcast app, or catch each new and all the past the Athletic Scholarship Podcast episodes on the recruit-me.com website. Thank you for listening to the world's longest running athletic recruiting education podcast, and I'll see you next week.